well met. I am your humble narrator, Amanda, here to share tales of daring do and daring don't in the hopes of amusing, entertaining, perhaps even educating. And in return, all I ask is that you stay a while and listen. So, I get asked a question a lot, and that is, how do I find a group to play with? There isn't an easy answer to that as such, but there are answers, and the good news is it's not nearly as hard as it used to be. Also, the reason why we're still doing this instead of what I had hoped to be doing is my room is an absolute mess. I'm currently reorganizing everything so I'll have a place to sit comfortably and talk at my leisure about this in future. How do you find your group? Okay, it really depends on what stage in your life you're in. Are you in school? Are you in college? Are you working? Retirement, I don't know about yet. I'm not that old. If you're in school, my suggestion would be use your school's notice board. Say that you're looking for players. Say that you're looking for a game. You'll be surprised how many people are actually tabletop role players in high school. I didn't realize at the time, but there were 3 groups in my school. I didn't realize it until years after I left high school that there were actually 3 gaming groups in the school, none of whom knew about each other. Bearing in mind this was the 90s, and frankly, you could still get punched for being a role player. Or a computer gamer, which is really weird when you think about it. But if you're in school, you can do that. You can ask. You'd be surprised how many people wouldn't know about a group. You can also do things like go online, and this one applies to all of them, so I'll get onto that in a minute. If you're in college, odds are your college has a war and role-playing society. Ask the society coordinator about it. If you weren't there for enrollments, they'll point you in the right direction. I will say this, even if you're not in college, you can sometimes blag your way into one of those societies as a recurring guest and playing a lot of games. I know, because I did. If you are if you are at working age and presumably retirement age, what I'm about to say will apply to you as well as college, as well as high school students, and that is this: social media. Social media in this term, I'm also talking about message boards, forums. Are chat rooms still a thing? I don't really know if chat rooms are still a thing. I haven't used one since the late 90s, but I presume they're still a thing. Contact people that way. Look for tabletop role-playing message boards. Look for groups on Facebook. Look for groups on... I was going to say Reddit, but I don't really know how Reddit works. So, maybe? Hell, even look for groups on Discord. There are options out there to find groups of people. Now, here's the thing. They may not have a game you can play in because they might be on the other side of the planet. But there's a good chance that they'll know someone relatively local to you who has a game. And even if they can't play with you, they may know someone who is local to you who can play with you. Use social media and use it to your advantage. It is a great resource. Use it. It's really useful. Imagine that. Using something that's really useful. So that works quite well. Forums are fantastic. Now, you might be completely screwed and in another way. And this is something that I've fallen into, and I never thought I would, and that is isolation. I'm a relatively isolated person just in general. Yes, I live with people, but most of my friends are scattered to the 4 winds, including the ones that would play. And aside from that, they all have careers. They're all busy. Most people my age are time poor. They work, they sleep, they eat, they work, they sleep, they eat, and at the weekend they have to do everything that they couldn't do during the week. They're time poor. So spending half an hour and a half in a couple of cases, back when I started tabletop role playing, when I was just out of high school, like when I started running my own games, I was looking at a 40-minute trip to where I played and ran my game and a 40-minute trip back home. That was a lot of travel time to run a game. Being time poor is an issue, but there's a simple way around that, and that's video conferencing. Since I've ended up living in, well, not in the arsehole of nowhere, but in a somewhat more isolated state because of my health and what have you, video conferencing for tabletop role playing is a great option, and it also can work really well if you do live in the arsehole of nowhere, which, let's be honest, a lot of people do. If you work and you just don't have time to travel, if you would have time to travel but you don't know anyone local, or you don't know anyone relatively local who does run a game, go on a message board, go on social media, again, find a group that do a video game. Most of them will use an automated system for dice rolls, where you click a button and it automatically does it for you, which is great because it's all above board and there's no way of cheating. There's always a way of cheating, but it's harder. Let's just say it's harder. There is always a way of cheating, but it's and it can work very, very well. It can be a very entertaining way to game, and it can be a very relaxing way to game because you just pick up your laptop and go to your bedroom and just play. Or you sit down in front of your PC and you just play. There's no traveling. There's no, okay, if I do this, if I'm not home by, I'm going to be knackered for work tomorrow. And of course, you're home after that and you go to bed going, why did I stay out so late? I should have came home earlier. Gods, why did I stay out so... This is from personal experience. Back when I was a healthier person. So that works extremely well. And it's a good way of finding a group. It's a good way of finding a group. And I just said that twice in a row. What the hell's wrong with me? 3 times in a row. It's a good way of finding a group to play with, and it can also help you to make new friends. It can open up other opportunities as well. We might talk about that in the future. So in essence, that to me are they three? Well, there are a few, actually yeah, they are three semi-decent ways of finding a gaming group. As for what you need to get started, that is a topic for another video. As in what you physically need. But I have to say, I can really recommend using the internet to find a group. It works, and it can work extremely well. I will also say that I am thinking about doing a monthly game via video conference, which will be recorded and then uploaded to this channel. If I end up doing it, I'll probably put out an application form for anybody that's interested in doing it. We'll see. I don't know for certain right now. Everything's still in the air because I'm still figuring out exactly how this is going to work. But in the meantime, I hope that was helpful. I hope that if you want to play, you find a group. I hope you find a group that are really easy to play with and fun to play with and not an absolute walking nightmare. So many bad stories. You're going to love them. But for now, I think that's it. So for my mind, that's how you find your group. You don't find it the way I did the first time, which was by accident. That's a story for another time, though. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be good, and bye for now.